Gang Stalked 2020 Fuego. Listen, I want to discuss this because a lot of people gang stalked and they don't even know how to describe it. I want to tell you how this all occurred for me from the beginning. So, I lived a life of average Latino male in New York or New Jersey. And that consists of street violence. It just does. But to get away from that, I moved from one place to another down south. I became more subdued, more wiser. Connecticut, New Jersey, New York, Connecticut. Now I ended up, by the time I got here, I was done with all the bullshit. And I came to the PA to invest in all the experiences I had in construction, to buy properties that were blighted. Doing that, I met someone. But that has nothing to do with it. I just want to say that when this gang stalking first happened, people started popping up in my kitchen while I'm right here watching TV. I hear two people talking or shuffling feet or just walking about my house. And for a long time, I didn't know what it was. I called my brother. My brother come running. Flying in total disarray and emotional wreck, and he wanted to fight. And at first I did, but after that I kept approaching them and they kept hiding. I thought it was school kids. I don't know what to think. At first I thought it was school kids, and then I thought they were trying to kill me. All I could think about was the way I was raised. And having retired from that way of life, in 1997, I came here and put all that away. No one in Erie, Pennsylvania could call me a gangster like you see on the street, robbing and shooting someone. I never hurt nobody out here. I've done tons of business out here. I've always got good recommendations, and many real estate companies have vouched for me that I'm a good worker, hard worker, and I get the job done correctly. And nothing about me being but the way people were following me or looking at me, or around my house it was kids teasing me, but I didn't yet have put the two, it was all one thing. I thought it was two different things. Until people started popping up with guns and letting me see them. And then I automatically took it back to the days where I was held at gunpoint, and I was oppressed like that, and I was ignorant like that, and I thought they're going to kill me. My past has come back to haunt me. And that's what I thought when everything started. And I didn't even know what it was from, let's see, it started well before. What happened, why I became so aware, and I think I found out so fast, was that I came home and caught gang stalkers in progress, setting up, doing things. They would do stupid shit. I had a puppy. They would make the puppy walk all over the shit in my house just so I had to clean it up. They would overfeed her. They would treat her like shit, basically, so that I couldn't tame her, and it was a really, really small puppy named Gucci. And they fucking made her disappear and die. I guess she's dead. But that's the cruelty of this shit. There is no sympathy. They will never stop until you make them. But they would love for you to kill one of them because they win. The people on the top want you to kill them. That's why I tell you, the people on the bottom are just victims just like me. The gang stalkers you see on a daily basis are nothing but pawns. They could go home. They're doing a job just like making donuts to them. They got shift, and probably 12-hour shift, and then somebody else come. But whether they have an emotional hatred towards me, I don't feel it. I feel it from some. I know they get tired of my mouth because you people complain all the time about how they talk to you and shit. Well, I talk right back. But I tried to teach them. I give them shit too, but I practice what I need to do for my life on them so that when it's time, I'd be more prepared. Anyway, it wasn't until I was with my real estate agent and another guy, and he said gang stalking. And I was like, wait, what's that? Nah, man, there's people inside my house. Because I heard that gang stalking was just people stalking you everywhere you go. I didn't know the details. And then when I found out the details and I read about it, it was familiar, but I didn't actually know where did I know it from. You know, the philosophy and the psychology of it. It was books I had already were forced to read. And I enjoyed them, and I read more and more and more. They helped me learn new words. I look it up in the dictionary, and then I use them. And it helped build my vocabulary. And actually, in the prison system, I was shunned for, like, trying to, they call it being better than, but nah, I was trying to be all I could be. You understand? I'm a guy that had to teach himself how to read and write from copying the Bible. If I asked my mother about history growing up, she would tell me a story about Jesus. That was history. One time for school, I had to bring a history. All you had to do was bring a history lesson. And she told me to write down something about a copy of the Bible. And I did that and got an F. And I was hella confused. And I argued about it. And my mother said I was right. But that's not the curriculum, so. But I always got good grades, and I never studied. And I didn't go to school from 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th grade were very, very tough. I only went to school about 62 days a year. The school was named Roberto Clemente in Newark, New Jersey. And I didn't have friends that went to school. I just go walking around. I get on the subway and I ride it till 3:30. And then I go home. Or maybe I didn't go home. After 14, I never went home. I just stayed with friends. I was a runaway, but I didn't sleep on the street very much. Either I slept in stolen cars. Well, that's the street. But in those stolen cars, I was able to always pick up a friend and then stay at his house. So I was a hustler from the beginning. I made all my, I ate by shoplifting food, and if I couldn't shoplift it, I ate it right in the grocery store. And I clothed myself like that too. And so I had a late start to being a mature person. This gang stalking, when it starts, you don't know how to describe it. And you push everyone away. And I pushed my family away. And I pushed my friends away, not being able to. There's people following me. And everybody thinks that I'm going crazy because I smoked ice. But I smoked ice intently because I didn't want to go to sleep with people fucking running in my house. I never felt I was truly addicted to ice. I used it because the books I read taught me that ice is a wartime drug. That military succeeded by using it, and I used it. But I recently stopped using it. But that's neither here nor there. That made me more of a target. I hear too many target individuals too ashamed to admit the truth that they were using. And I only use glasses to read or look in my phone. Just saying. So, when your family, your kid, your uncle, your cousin is trying to tell you there's people following him, first thing you do is you're thinking he's fucked up on drugs. But he's not. He's experiencing something that is very sophisticated, very difficult to explain, very, very hard to interpret, to tell anyone what you're experiencing, and everyone around you knows it, but they are paid. Your very friends, the ones that you call friends, the ones that you lend money, the ones that you gave everything you had to, or you shared, will sell you out when this is happening because cash rules everything around you. And that's not a joke, and it's not funny, it's the truth. So in the beginning, when I thought it was gangsters after me because I was raised in the streets being a gangster, a stupid gangster, what you see Tony Montana doing, that's stupid. He wasn't the gangster in the movie. The movie was about Sosa. He was the gangster. He didn't get his hands dirty. He controlled everything with ease. He made the money, and that is more like being a gangster than what everybody's trying to be like. The misconception is that you got to be hard, and the reality is that you got to be clever, and that you got to be wise, and that you got to make money no matter what you do. So I got violent at first because I thought my life was at danger, and I fought back ignorantly. And as the time that started, April, May, in July, that started with people just, and then it intensified. Once I'd call my brother come over. When he come, there's nobody there. As soon as he left, they'd come out. And I'd call him back, and then they got a hold of him and told him they was playing a joke or whatever the fuck they told him. But to this day, he's on the wrong team. No one has helped me find out the things I found out. And I had to play by their rules by paying for information when I did find out. And now that I know everything there is to know about this pertaining to my gang stalking experience, now they don't like me anymore. But I don't give a fuck. I never cared about who liked me when I was broke. So why do I care now that I'm not? I wanted to move, but I ain't going to move. I'd rather stay here and fight who I know is doing it than to move and have somebody else doing it, and I have to figure that all out again. And I'm telling you that I have no intentions on hurting any gang stalker that comes here, unless he touches me. And even then, that's not hurting him, that's self-defense. So, this video is pertaining to you that don't know what gang stalking is. That's the problem. Too many targeted individuals keep it to themselves, like they're ashamed of it. And so it exacerbates it. The people that should be keeping it a secret, when you keep it a secret, it only benefits the people that are bullying you. It is not gang stalking at all. It's a bunch of people, from college students to hoodlums, making $1, pestering you until you go crazy enough to hurt one of them. The people on the top were hoping, on the top of the pyramid of gang stalking, the educated minds are hoping that I would snap by now. I know for a fact that they thought I would have killed one of these people by now. They didn't believe that I'm a true success story. They didn't know my level of intelligence or understanding, or that even though I told them that thanks to Owen Flanagan, I was able to receive a well-balanced education. I educated myself in philosophy and psychology, in religion, in business. In marketing, I'm just naturally gifted. But anyway, you need to listen more to the person that tells you somebody is in his house, even if you don't believe them. What they do is isolate you. And that's one thing that never bothered me, because because when you become more conscious, you don't want to be around people that sound ignorant. I didn't want to be around people that all they want to talk about is how many women they fucked and how much drugs they got and sell and money, and all that shit is boring. Like, I'd rather see a portfolio of what you have accomplished, and a black card would be impressive, but not how much money you made and what street corner you run. That shit to me is boring, man. I passed that. And once you pass something, you don't want to go back. And so I would like to be alone until I met someone that was like-minded as me. And then I was with her for a while. But I realize now that she never introduced me to anyone. She isolated me too. I'm thinking perhaps I've been in this web for 5 years. Even though I haven't been gang stalked for 5 years. But if this is supposed to be executed on someone that has been in trouble, or in the street, or what the society would label a piece of shit, or someone that is a drug addict, or doing burglaries and hurting, and that doesn't, I don't fit that scenario. I don't fit that criteria. I'm way past that. So someone must have lied and said my whole history to convince a lot of people that I am that way, which, as you can tell by my videos, and if you can read in my writing, I am an author on my way to being a New York Times bestseller. You watch. The pen name will be Freddy Fuego. That is not my real name. That is a character that you love. Thank you for your support. Try to talk to your mom and make her watch this video. Those TIs that do not have family support, you're not crazy. Do not go to a mental institution. Do not change the truth, no matter who doesn't support you. I never wavered and said, maybe I am seeing things. No, I knew. I'm a conscious person. I never questioned my own mind. I was suckered into going into a mental hospital because they told me if I went there, this would stop. But really what it was is every time you go there, they get a raise. They get commendation for it. They get, yeah, you're winning or you're being successful. And it's bullshit. If you go to a hospital, they are going to treat you terrible. If you're a target individual, they are going to take advantage of you there. You are going to experience weapons that you only see in movies. Electrical weapons. I mean, stay safe. Tell your family, tell everyone, please share this video with anyone who doesn't know what gang stalking is. And it isn't gang stalking. It is a bunch of vigilantes, of very successful people in your county that has gotten together to get rid of the piece of shit. And somebody has said, you are a piece of shit. Maybe you beat up somebody's daughter. If you're a man, maybe you were a domestic abuser and you became that. Or maybe you were doing too many drugs around someone with the connections that my person had. And then, since the pay is great, the people on top of this pyramid can make up to $500,000 a year, I read. So, people will label you just to get that money. And when in fact, it's a fucking scam. There's nobody to judge or to pick. If someone is throwing in the hat, hey, this guy is a gangster, he's a piece of shit, there's no one there to verify, okay, let's check, let's watch and see what he does. If anybody has been watching me for the 18 months or 19 months I've been gangster, you cannot say I'm a piece of shit. I have let people stay here for free in my apartment. I have helped people constantly. I have given out clothes. I have given out winter coats. I have fed the homeless. I have employed the homeless. I have, even this past month, a woman was scammed for $2,400, and I let her stay in my house while I stood in a hotel. I didn't have to do that. I could have kicked her out or called this trespassing. I could have done a lot of things that I didn't do because she was already victimized. Why have her go to jail on top of that? And she was sick. You do what represents you. There's no need for you to make believe. Besides, the judge sentenced me. I did my time. Now, this is another kind. This is double jeopardy. I've already did my time. I am a reformed person. I am someone that can teach you a lot. And I am through these videos. And I'm not done. Please share this video with someone that does not know what gang stalking is, what does not know what a targeted individual is. I'm out. Thanks for the support. Please subscribe, like, share, or hate. It's all the same to me.